You know what? I like YouTube. I've honestly watched more YouTube in my life than I think I have TV. And of course, I am kind of a content creator running this illustrious commentary channel, but YouTube has its problems. Lots of them. Not many of their problems are bad enough to affect the average user. Most of them only really affect people like me who do YouTube. There is one problem though that has become more and more apparent on YouTube in recent years, and that's content moderation. Now, YouTube is in no way the only platform with issues regarding their moderation. I've been a pretty vocal critic of Twitch's moderation team in the past, but this issue has risen to the forefront of the YouTube sphere recently, with YouTube's general incompetence shining through the cracks. I'm talking about the Critical and Markiplier situation. Critical, or Charlie, is a pretty big YouTuber, and his channel Penguinz0 has over 5.82 million subscribers. And of course, you all know Markiplier, he has over 26 million subscribers. To give you some perspective on that, the official verified YouTube channel for YouTube has only 30.7 million subscribers. So, just to get back, Mark and Charlie are literally beating YouTube at their own game. With that context, let's get into what happened. Hey guys, just jumping in to ask you to like and subscribe. As a growing creator, nothing helps motivate me more than seeing that people enjoy what I'm putting out. And thanks to those of you who have already subscribed, it does mean a lot to me. If you have anything you want to say about this video or the topic that we're talking about today, I try to respond to every comment, so let me know down below. Now let's get back to the video. Well, ladies and gents. YouTube these past couple weeks, it's kind of been like riding a donkey up a roller coaster track during a thunderstorm. It feels like nobody at YouTube is in control, and that the enforcement team just makes their decisions like some sort of Stalinist regime. First, Leafy gets termed, with what appears to have been 3 simultaneous strikes applied retroactively for making fun of Pokimane, which I'll discuss more in depth in another video maybe. The point being that despite the valid criticism about Leafy's ban, the YouTube enforcement team felt that Leafy's content wasn't right for the site, and they decided to memory hole him by removing his channel and rejecting all the criticism they got as invalid. Meanwhile, Charlie finds that there are literal animal abusers still on this site, channels dedicated to the repeated harm and torture of animals. And as any big YouTuber would, after finding out this information, Charlie made a video. Turns out there were a lot of non-English speaking channels that do this, and a lot have made copycats of a big YouTuber who has in the past abused animals. Turns out that there was actually a really large outcry a while back about this big channel that does the animal abuse. Tons of YouTubers made videos, the mainstream media even picked it up, but weirdly the channel's still there. So were the hundreds of copycat videos of legitimate animal abuse. So I mean, you might be able to see a little bit of selective enforcement coming through, just a tiny bit. I mean, animal abuse? YouTube will turn a blind eye. God forbid you slightly hurt somebody's feelings, or they'll deplatform you and remove all of your videos from the site with no warning. Kind of like that photo of Stalin on the river. They made this way worse for themselves though. After Critical had found out about the animal abuse rings that are infesting the site, he realized that one of his own videos had been removed and he'd been given a strike. Which video? Well, it was called Road Rager Learns a Hard Lesson, which, okay, I know that sounds pretty bad. However, the video is just satire of those Russian road rage dashboard cam videos. It features SpongeBob, the squirrel from Ice Age, Mickey Mouse, and some random purple character attacking a man while faking that it's a road rage video. I'd show the video, but even with the resolution that we got, I don't trust YouTube enough to risk putting that on my channel because I don't want to get a strike. God knows what they're going to do. They're selectively enforcing stuff. It's not worth it. Basically though, they're all faking their punches and kicks, and the video looks like something you'd expect to come out of the drama class of a Russian high school. Only thing that's missing is the vodka. It's clearly fake and very clear that nobody gets hurt. So why was it taken down? Well, the reason for the strike was violent or graphic content. Yep, a video of SpongeBob beating up a man without actually hitting him is violent and graphic. I just don't get it. A faked video of SpongeBob beating somebody is more morally objectionable to the moderation team at YouTube than hundreds of videos of animal abuse. No offense, but is the moderation team made up of a bunch of sociopathic 12-year-olds protecting their only friend, SpongeBob? Or are they some kind of rabid Ice Age fan club? I await the answer in the comments below, YouTube. Now back to the topic at hand. Charlie, Critical, runs a company, some sort of multi-channel network thing, if I understood him right, and because of that he has some contacts at YouTube. So you'd think it might be easy for him to get this fixed. No sane person is going to say that a clearly fake video of SpongeBob pretending to hit some dude is either violent or graphic, right? Well, his contacts at YouTube actually agreed with him, but they had no way to contact the moderation team, which is wild to me. How can a company function if the people inside of it can't even talk to each other? How are the moderators going to know what rules are good for the community if they have no contact with the partner teams? Who's running the moderation team? Is the moderation team even real? Or is it just an algorithm that YouTube's been pretending is a comprehensive team? Well, Charlie felt the same way that I did. He tweeted, "Was going to handle this privately, but it seems there's actually no human review in these things. A video that was taken down and put a strike on my channel It's not even real road rage incident and has no injury, blood, or anything. Not even fake blood or injury at Team YouTube, along with a screenshot of the strike that he'd received. YouTube was quick to respond with, "Thank you for the screenshot. We'll pass this along so our teams can take another look and update you when we know more. Appreciate your patience in the meantime." Which, I mean, it's just one of the general canned response tweets that they always send automatically. Charlie replied to that with some context for the video though. "Thank you. I'd also like to add this was a stage viral YouTube video, and there are dozens of uploads of it and people talking about it that have been on the platform for 5 years and have never had an issue with it. During this time, Charlie made a video about the situation, and despite not having received a response yet from YouTube, he correctly predicted that YouTube would say that the video was right to be removed because it violated their guidelines and to review their terms of service. Pretty apt prediction, because that's basically exactly what the official Team YouTube account said. "Confirming that a member of our team reviewed the video, and the decision stands. Footage containing graphic content, fights, beatings, etc. with the intent to shock, violate our community guidelines. Since you're in touch with a partner manager, they'll be the best point of contact to answer cues you may have," which I think rightfully pissed Charlie off, because the video clearly didn't show a real fight, beating, or anything graphic. And since the video was a joke, it clearly wasn't posted with the intent to shock. At this point, I just kind of want to stop for a second and just ask, why is the only way for people to get into contact with the moderation team at YouTube through Twitter? How does that make any sense? Imagine that your internet goes down, but you need to get in contact with your cable company, and you find out that not only do they not have a phone number or email available to the public, the only phone number you can find, nobody can get you into contact with the department you need to get your cable and internet fixed, and they direct you to go to Facebook instead. Can you imagine that? It's ridiculous if it's outside of an internet context. If any real company was doing this, I mean, YouTube is a real company, but I just don't understand. It's ridiculous, infuriating, and completely unprofessional for a major company like YouTube to have no point of contact except through social media. I can't stand it, and I have no idea why nobody else is complaining about this. And then on top of all of this, Charlie was able to point out that the same video was available all over YouTube, including in a video posted by Markiplier. He tweeted, "Markiplier also made a video laughing about the same fake road rage incident. When will he be getting a strike? At Team YouTube, #AnswerUsYouTube," along with a screenshot of the Markiplier video. Markiplier responded by quote tweeting that tweet and saying, "Fair is fair at Team YouTube, where's my strike? #AnswerUsYouTube." Obviously, Markiplier and Critical did not think that YouTube was going to give him a strike, or instead thought that maybe YouTube would reverse their decision when they saw that they were wrong. But no, to everybody's shock, YouTube decided to strike Markiplier's video as well, citing the same reason they took down Critical's video. Now, Charlie saw Markiplier's video had been striked and quote tweeted it, "I'm absolutely shocked that YouTube is deciding to die on this hill, striking even the most wholesome creator on their site, rather than admit it was a mistake in the first place. What's next at Team YouTube? Striking every WWE video for fake violence as well? #AnswerUsYouTube." Then there were a lot of outcry from the YouTube community. It was so clear that to everybody who looked at it that YouTube was in the wrong. And on top of that, Markiplier is one of the most family-friendly YouTubers on the site. For them to strike him over such a clear misinterpretation of their rules by their own staff, it's just petty. Everything in this is just petty. Like, somebody on the moderation team wasn't happy that they were being called out for making mistakes, so they doubled down like a 5-year-old who isn't getting his way. In the end, though, like always with YouTube, bad press wins out. YouTube capitulated under the force of thousands of users who were calling them out for their horrendous call on this whole situation, and they reversed the decision. Update: we're not gonna die on this hill. You were right. After even further review, your video and others are back up, and these strikes have been removed. This was an over-enforcement of our policies, especially with the added context commentary, as you originally pointed out. So in the end, Charlie and Markiplier won this battle with YouTube. It brought huge issues to the surface. Markiplier and Charlie both make videos on this situation with their own views, and I'd encourage you to watch those, so I'll link them in the description. For me though, there's just a couple things that really stand out to me. How is it that nobody has a contact within the YouTube moderation team? I mean, channels with over 100k subscribers get a partner manager, and despite Markiplier and Charlie being huge YouTubers, not even their partner managers could get in contact with anybody at the moderation team. They had to go over Twitter to get any answer at all, and that answer pretty much seemed to be an automated response. There's no way they gave Charlie's video a second look and confirmed manually that there was actual violence or shock value to it. There was no way they looked at Markiplier's Try Not to Laugh video that featured the clip and thought that that was so shocking it would scare or scar people. It's just not possible. YouTube needs to take steps to allow creators to talk to the moderation team, or at least give them some escalation point to be able to resolve these disputes that isn't Twitter. Making it take place on Twitter is not only unprofessional, but it really shows how little the YouTube machine cares about its creators. Sure, they pretend that they care about the creators, they put on a bigger song and dance than when you had to learn square dancing in first grade sometimes, but in the end, all that really matters is that YouTube is willing to throw even huge creators to the wolves. I also don't think that this would have ever been resolved had it not been for the big public outcry. I think that somebody at YouTube got a real angry call when their bosses saw the hashtag trending and everybody was mad at them. They saw the bad PR coming. And when the higher up noticed and told his staff to fix it, then the videos were reinstated. It just goes to show the current state of YouTube, in my opinion. Only if you can get bad attention onto something does it get fixed. Imagine if Charlie was like a channel my size. He'd have no way of getting the coverage to actually make it so that there would be a change. He would still be with a strike right now. So I don't know. It's just not good. YouTube needs to change. And honestly, it feels like the YouTube machine cares not about the people who built it, but only that the machine can continue to run. That's all I have today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Since you watched this long, you probably enjoyed the video, so why not? Anyway, see you next time. God bless you.